And welcome to Simon Sports Show. Special edition tonight. We have the legendary Peter Fox, founding executive producer of ESPN. Da-na-na, da-na-na. Excited to talk about it. He's got a new book out about the first 300 days, the chaos of starting ESPN in one Bristol, Connecticut, close to home for us. And also, huzzah, Mayo is gone. Bobby didn't get to talk about it, so we'll follow that up with some Pat Scraps, some Patriots thoughts, the aftermath of Gerard Mayo getting fired here in New England. But certainly we're going to have some fun talking to Peter in just a second, right after what we normally do to start every show, which is opening takes. Bobby, I thought, seeing as you missed Monday, you'd get to go first.
I appreciate that. Robert Kraft is an asshole. Only an asshole would set themselves up and set up their entire organization and fan base in a situation as untenable and unable to succeed as he did. Then a year later, come back and be like, "Oh, my bad, guys. I feel really bad. This is hard. I didn't mean it, and we're going to do everything we can to move forward here." And then actually, it's funny because it takes after every line that the Patriots players used this year when they failed at their job miserably and then went publicly to apologize for it. Asshole.
Fair enough. There's Bobby's opening take. I will take on the next subject. Robert Kraft is still one of the best owners in the NFL. He had a blip on the radar here with this Gerard Mayo hire, and he admitted it right away in record time. As a matter of fact, 90 minutes after the final whistle blew for the Patriots, he came out and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, my bad, fucked up. I was an asshole for making that move, but I'm not an asshole in general. I'm one of the greatest owners in NFL history. Go look at the record, idiots." Robert NFL. I'd like to see you come up with 3 names better than that. Maybe we'll do that on this show coming up. Until then, Ray, your opening take. Yeah, you're muted. God damn it.
I'm done, damn it. I'm going to piggyback off all 3 of you. What Robert Kraft needs to do now, he got rid of Mayo. He needs to get rid of Wolf because now that you're starting the interview process, you don't want to have head coach and GM working side by side. You want to have the head coach be able to have the same guy in the GM picking up the scheme and the players. So I think that the next shoe to fall should be Elliott Wolf and the Patriots.
Pretty sure that was your opening take on Monday as well. So I love a good retread. Again, here's the show.
Bobby wasn't here. We're
going to kick this thing off. Peter's in the waiting room now, so we won't make him wait any longer. We're going to talk about the early days with ESPN with Peter Fox. Again, we're going to do some Pat Scraps. It was really going to be about the Mayo follow-up, but I guess we're going to argue about Kraft being an asshole or not. We've got 10 questions from a guy named Rob and Simplest Minds of the Week. If you're watching on YouTube, let's get this out of the way. You're welcome. Devilishly handsome. New room for Bobby, or at least a new angle. We got a lot of wall behind him. Bland Bobby is back, baby. Favorite podcast platform, wherever you're watching or listening, rate, subscribe, review, tell your friends, tell your mothers, tell them about our newsletter, all the latest content, blogs, pods, behind the paywall. We'll pay for it. You read it. Top 5 and Sammy Stacks, new merch. It's all there for you. Just go to simplemindsports.com or click the link below. Welcome to the show. Oh, Ray. And there you go. Did that look familiar there, Peter?
Oh, it doesn't. Every time I see it, I just shake my head because you don't notice it, but there's a little jump cut at the end of that thing that we just couldn't fix, and it was just like so late that we just said, okay, we got to go. And there we did. It was one of those rat race days.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's, I love that kind of insight into the nitty gritty of it. 40 something years later. But of course, with us, founding executive producer of ESPN, Peter Fox. Also, let's give you a little bit more credit than that. Fox, your Emmy nominee. These things, frankly, I don't know what they are, but congratulations. Clio Gold Pen winner. I do know what the National Golf Hall of Fame member is and the senior golf champion in Durham, North Carolina. I got those. But you're also the editor-in-chief for SportsEdTV. And, of course, author of Early Days of ESPN, 300 Daydreams and Nightmares, which we're here to talk to you about. And anything else on your mind?
Yeah, well, I got a little more street cred for you guys for Boston. I've been waiting for this, man.
Whoa.
I'm loaded. I used to watch Ted Williams, Vern Stevens, and Bobby Dorr play baseball.
We used to have a guy on the show. We used to have a guy on the show that went to high school with Ted Williams.
We did. He did. He spent a couple years in Saigon with him too. Here's the thing that jumped out to me in our research here, Peter. You get no love on the internet. I'll tell you that. Wikipedia,
that's true.
Really doesn't like you. Bill and Scott and Ed. They all get the credit there for the founders of ESPN.
Well, and they should.
You don't even have a Wikipedia page, though, Peter.
Well, they took the risk. Bill said to me, do you want in? And I said, Bill, I can't afford it. I got 3 kids. You got to pay me. So I'm the first employee. So,
okay. Well,
so those guys had skin in the game. I
Sure.
did too, obviously, but
sure.
a little more than you.
Well,
yeah.
we've heard a lot about them. I'm excited to hear some more about you, but I am curious of that research in there a little bit that I could find. Do we have Martinis and what I would consider just the sheer boredom of Connecticut to thank for ESPN?
Well, no. You should thank Howard Baldwin, the owner of the Hartford Whalers, who shit-canned Bill, and Dan Gold of Channel 3, who gave me the see you later. And we're both looking for something to do,
Was Bristol, Connecticut as much of a dump then as it is now?
Oh, it's a little better now. I went.
It's better now?
Oh, yeah. Wow. I went back to the 45th reunion 3 weeks ago, and it's amazing what ESPN did for that community.
Sure.
They've got that Little League baseball thing going. They've obviously got the ESPN campus going, and they've actually built a convention center, which is where we held our reunion. So yeah, it's better. I mean, it was bad. It was.
The one of the influx of cash, as far as I could tell, and this one goes out to all you tree huggers, came from that sweet oil money and Getty Oil. But you had a big part in that. Correct me if I'm wrong. What sealed the deal in that meeting? What kind of sugar did you put on top?
Well, the 6 of us, after the cable television show in Las Vegas, went out to Getty Oil to seal the deal, and we're in the boardroom. And it's pretty much well known that this is going to happen. And the CEO of Getty Oil, Sid Peterson, kind of looks down the table and he says, "Wait, well, what's this going to look like? And who's in charge? What's it going to do?" And we all kind of just put our hands up, And he looked at me and he said, "Young man, I want you to know there's enough money in this building to buy ABC, CBS, and NBC. Do not embarrass Getty Oil." And he meant it, man.
Sure,
I bet.
And so they put up $20 million on the get-go. That's 1978 money too, man. I mean,
that's a lot of money.
They told us, they said, "Do not skimp, do it."
And then you went out and poached your ABC guys.
NBC.
NBC, sorry.
That was the genius, really. Yeah. It's not like I didn't know my way around a television studio, but do you think I could get the commissioner of baseball to pick up the phone if I called?
No.
Yeah,
No, probably not.
but the NBC guys could, and so they brought him in, and that.
Who was the commissioner of baseball then? Teddy
really
Roosevelt or?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Nothing. I was just saying, who was the commissioner of baseball at that point in time?
Oh boy,
I thought it was Teddy Roosevelt, but I might have my history.
Was Giamatti maybe?
Okay.
Peter, my youth schedule was like a job. Wake up, eat breakfast, watch Sports Center, go to school. I'm sure that was true for every kid in America back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Do you ever like sit back and just be like, holy crap, like this is what I did for like the youth of America? Like,
oh yeah,
so many eyes are on this product.
Oh yeah, especially now, with the book. And I'm not supposed to talk about it, but it's going to hit the big screen here pretty soon.
Hey, breaking news. Do we have a buzzer?
There's a buzzer.
When I say pretty soon, you know what that means. They bought the rights to the book.
Yep.
They're in development, and who knows what that.
So you'll be like the guy from Getty Oil. You'll be the guy with the money bags coming in saying, "Don't disappoint me, boys."
Play Kenny Mayne.
Yeah, who'd you like
Herman.
to play you?
Yeah,
maybe like a John Hamm.
Let's say
you should have direct say in who plays you.
I was thinking those Boston guys would be pretty good.
Ben Affleck or Matt Damon?
Ooh, Damon. Like go Matt. Damon. Yeah, there we go.
Matt.
That makes sense.
So I have a follow-up question, Peter. You left in 1981 with a map for the show that stood in place for a very, very long time. Watching SportsCenter today, how is it a debate show and a ball lapping of LeBron James, and how much are you disappointed of it?
Yeah, they took the personality out of it.
Oh God, did they ever?
It's nothing but talking heads.
That's all it is. It's a debate show about like whatever the biggest news title is of the week, and then it's about LeBron, pretty much.
Yeah, and it's it's where media has gone. It's not just ESPN.
Bobby,
how do you take a SportsCenter, a product like that? A lot of people from our generation used to watch, and make it relevant for people today? What would you do to update it?
Wow, that's a really good question. Well, first of all, I'd get rid of the pharmaceutical ads.
Good call.
I mean, come on.
Let's go back to Miller Lite and boobs, right?
Yeah,
right?
Well, exactly. There's a great story.
I'm all ears when you hear beer. Please, the floor is yours.
Well, finish this. It's sign on. Tick, 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 tick. And in the room with this are the people from Budweiser who have purchased exclusivity for beer for the first year for $5 million, $1978. Da-da-da-da.
Yep.
We do our little gig. We go to SportsCenter. We introduce that. And now let's go to our first live sports program, the finals of the slow pitch World Series game between the Milwaukee Schlitz and and the camera goes to the dude on the mound, on the slow pitch mound with Schlitz across his chest. And what do you do?
Can't get away with that stuff nowadays. No way.
Yeah, that'd be a big whoopsie.
It's okay for Ted Williams. It's okay for me.
I got one more for you.
Give us as many as you got.
As many as you got.
I saw Easy Ed McCauley play.
That's gonna be beyond us. If we had Bill who went to Saigon, he'd be able to name that one. But a little more context. Who is Easy Ed?
Oh, he was the last center before Bill Russell.
Oh, interesting. Sounds like a white name, though. Am I correct by saying that? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think the entire
6'7", 6'8".
Probably 6'3" center.
Team, it was Cousy, Sharman, McCauley. There was a muscle guy. I can't think of his name. But yeah, it was Caucasian all through.
It was black.
Yeah, black.
Hey, I just want to get this because this is spinning in my head now because we talked about what ESPN and SportsCenter is turned into, but it is really, it's all about ratings, and you can understand that to an extent, but they've taken Twitter and put it on your screen with Stephen A. Smith and they yell at each other. But we are 40-ish, and we are coming into our era of power, if that's what you want to call it. And you've got a whole generation that grew up with the Kenny Maynes and Stuart Scott and all those guys. And I think there's an appetite for that, and certainly the appetite that ESPN is trying to feed now is probably getting stale with everything that.
Well, I see Pitaro changing that, the CEO, in that he hired that controversial guy whose name escapes me.
I don't know.
And he kind of gave him green light.
Yeah, ESPN now.
You're talking about Pat McAfee?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love Pat.
It's not easy being senior,
Yeah, McAfee, that's a good switch from Norm. It's still a long form kind of podcast thing. They're still playing to that audience. I mean, I think if Bob, you had a question like this, and I canned it. Sorry, but
no, it's okay.
Something about the personalities.
Yeah, so
the power of SportsCenter, even with the talking heads and the white shirts with the neckties, are still highlights.
But before the onset of all kind of the smaller media groups, your ESPN, Fox Sports, they kind of had all the talent. Is a big problem, you think, with the content now really the dilute in the talent pool for who they get? Because it seems like a lot of the bigger talents end up leaving because they don't like the rules that the major networks have.
Well, I think there's a lot to be said for that. But, guys like Olbermann and folks like that are just carved little niches of their own, and they get a little long in the tooth too, and
they have different interests.
Slipping their butt from the Gold Coast of Connecticut up to Bristol every day is when they can do it from home and build a studio like you guys are doing.
There's a Gold Coast in Connecticut,
like I'm doing. The Gold Coast,
down
in Fairfield County.
Nah, I think all of Connecticut's a dump, right, Bobby?
Hey, go easy now.
Bobby lives there. The chief lives there. So
Bobby's currently broadcasting.
I'm a resident. Currently broadcasting.
So, Peter, before ESPN, you had an advertising agency in the 70s that you sold, and a little guilty pleasure of mine are old really TV ads, but any ads that today would just no way you can no way you can make a. For instance, I watched one from Germany the other day about a Asian food restaurant, and every German that was eating it turned Asian as they were eating it, and it was fantastic. So I was just curious. I did ample research today to see, first of all, what your agency was called. Couldn't find it. And if there was anything like that, couldn't find anything. So was there anything like that, or were you not really even in that field? Or was it a Mad Men thing where you got to sit around in fancy suits and drink cocktails? And
well, here's what it was. It was pre-ESPN, so it's early 70s. And Hartford was the insurance capital of the world. And if you didn't wear a white shirt and a necktie, you didn't have a job. And all the advertising was done in the newspaper, in the Hartford Courant, and by the way, the Hartford Times, an afternoon paper that I worked for before the ad agency. And myself and two other people, a friend of mine, Barbara Bodner, and Bill Gorton, created Bodner Fox Gorton, which was an agency that specialized in electronic media. And we taught the community how to use radio and television. And we did it in a brash, in-your-face kind of way that we had some fun doing. I remember doing a swimsuit commercial for the local department store that was 50% off. Now,
Now, how many guys did you have?
I mean, that was a knockdown body paint job with, with just from the back. I mean, oh my God, I thought the Pope was going to come and take me off here. But better than that, man. I had a radio station as a client, and the owner wanted to sell it, but he wanted to hype the ratings. So he said, do you think all sex talk show will work? And I said,
yes.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So we did a thing called Women's Glib. And Women's Glib was a program in the morning where only women would be accepted as callers. And this dude, Ed Clancy, what a talented guy. He would chat with them about things that, just today, Dr. Ruth kind of stuff without the doctorate, right?
Gotcha.
And we got taken off the air by the FCC. but the dude sold the station because the ARB ratings were so high.
Talking clams with Ed Clancy. Ray, jot that down. We need Women's Glib as a new segment.
That'd be a great segment. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, Ed, you might want to interview Ed about that. He's in New Orleans, and he's you'll find.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any businesses on Bourbon Street by any chance?
I think we need to get
pretty
Ed's number.
straight-laced.
Really?
But yeah, you can find him.
Perfect. Hey, you live in Chapel Hill now, correct?
I do.
Have they changed the welcome to Chapel Hill signs to welcome to Chapel Bill yet?
Well, it's funny. I have for sure, because I've been a Bill fan when he was at the Giants, man. I mean,
No, of course.
And when I got that news, I went, holy mackerel. Well, there's a lot of feedback coming the other way, saying he's diminishing the budget for the basketball team. And oh my God, but
that's true.
So it's getting some weird playback.
I was wondering too, because obviously Chapel Hill, you think North Carolina, you think basketball, you don't ever think football, but are things changing now because the team's like very disappointing right now, and that Bill's bringing in this whole new program and trying to get in the transfer pool and all that?
Well, I think there's a momentum, and obviously he's dipped into the transfer pool. I think one day he did like 6 guys in one day, and I was pissed he got UConn's good player yesterday.
That's Belichick's wheelhouse, man. Like, there's no you can just go strong arm some like
exactly.
Belichick's team is going to be full of 25-year-old 6-year grad transfers that are just going to bully every team.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't you love them for it though? I mean,
I do. I'm actually no one around here were New England guys, and no one around here, everyone wants him in the NFL and stuff. I'm excited to see what he can. Like, I'd like to see this motherfuck the NCAA. Just like I'm taking this too, but
as
who knows if he can still do it? But
yeah, Peter, like that, like Rich is saying, can he still do it? You've been a fan of him since he's been a Giants. How weird is it going to see him be on an NCAA sideline coaching the Tar Heels?
Well, yeah. I never saw that coming either.
No.
Interesting to your original question, though. I talked to other people, and they say, "Are you kidding me? The economy around here is going to explode in the fall."
Yep.
I mean, ticket sales.
I was thinking about going to a game. I'm like, fuck, maybe we should just try to go to a fucking
game.
Damn right, yeah. Go down to Chapel Hill.
He speaks to the youth. His young boo is obviously related.
I mean, I got to think that faculty meeting is just.
Peter, we appreciate your time. We're gonna let you go here in a second. We do have a fun little quick little game we play. It's called This or That with Bobby. He just gives you 2 options.
Kind of like some get to know you questions.
No, real quick. You just pick one. Whether you got a reason behind it or not, we go rapid fire, and we'll see how it goes. If you like playing, all right, go for it.
All right, would you rather watching a sporting event live or on TV?
Oh, there's no doubt I'd rather be live.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Live too.
Live for sure.
Lasagna or chicken parm?
Oh, lasagna. Oh,
no, that's the answer.
Chicken parm.
It is lasagna.
Nope. Wait, Peter, keep going. Think about it a little more. Nope. The fresh mozzarella on that chicken, little sauce. I'm going chicken parm. I'm going chicken parm.
Now, question: if you put peanut butter on that chicken parm, is it still a chicken parm? No, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
You've been holding on to that one, you son of a bitch, Bobby.
Seinfeld or Friends? Better TV show.
Oh,
you can say neither.
I never watched either because I'm just not.
No.
Fuck yeah, Peter. Fuck yeah.
Seinfeld,
I'm not really a comedy guy, especially a scripted comedy.
What about Big Bang Theory?
Could have fooled us. Oh, Ray, get out of here! I will.
There was one.
What is it? What? Which one?
Huh?
Which one?
Part of the universe, you idiot. Keep up, Bobby. Please next.
Bob Lee or John Sanders?
Poof.
Again, Bobby,
Moon
please.
landing, real or fake?
All real.
Thank you. And we missed the Bob Lee or John Sanders.
Oh, Bob Lee or John Saunders?
Oh, Bob Lee, no doubt. The general is he's just been good to me.
Bob Lee doesn't get enough respect, I think.
No.
I mean, that guy changed, like, even like outside the lines when he did with that was just phenomenal.
Oh, outside the lines, yeah.
Bob Lee just doesn't get enough respect.
Sports reporters with
too. Was he the
first?
Was he on Sports Reporters with?
Was he the first host?
He was that first weekend, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was him, Berman, Mees, Bob Waller.
The Sports Reporters was great. Sunday morning at 10.
Oh, it was the first like round table discussion show.
Oh, that was great.
They didn't yell at each other. They should have been drinking. They should have been drinking bourbons and like in their leather chairs.
I know, it was so classy.
Yes.
Hey, quick question: Bob Lee and Chris Berman. Who's going to play them in the movie? Who would you want them to play in the movie?
Well, Bob Lee has got to be one of those good-looking gray-haired guys.
Clooney?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But Boomer, man.
Seth Rogen.
Bingo.
Go to hell.
Ooh. You have to be good with sound effects, You got to be whoop.
Yeah, I don't know.
Any round guy will do.
That was Stump the Band question.
Yeah, no, it's a good one. It's one to contemplate and think about, and everybody can do that and get back to it. Until then, Peter, we took up more time than we promised, and we appreciate you hanging with us. Let's take a little time now to just tell everybody where we can find the book and purchase it and read it. I got into about chapter 3 today, and it's great. Everyone should go get it. So please tell them where they can.
Thank you. Well, obviously the Amazons of the world and the better bookstores. But if you want me to sign it or gift it to someone, write to Peter at earlyespn.com or just go to earlyespn.com and that'll get you there. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
This has been fun. Peter, appreciate you hanging out with us.
That was fun. Especially the Beantown boys. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get the fuck out of here, Peter. It was nothing.
All right, goodbye.
Now headlines are the obvious one. Thanks, Peter.
Bye,
Have
Peter.
a great night.
Have a good night. Thank you there, Richard. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Happy beers were had by all of New England at 4:05 p.m. on Sunday when word got out that first-year head coach Gerard Mayo was fired. And from all reports, he was not head coaching material. Speaking of football, that's what we have for the next 5 fucking days, Richard. Let's go. Thursday, Penn State versus Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl. Friday, Ohio State versus Texas in the Cotton Bowl. Saturday, 4:30, Bobby's LA Chargers take on the Houston Texans. 8:30, Pittsburgh Steelers at Baltimore Ravens. Sunday at 1 p.m., we got the Denver Broncos at the Buffalo Bills. 4:30, Green Bay Packers at the Philadelphia Eagles. And at 8 p.m., Washington Commanders at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Followed by Monday Night Football at 8 p.m., Minnesota travels to Arizona to take on the Los Angeles Rams, which This is going to be a doozy. The Brewers are on a 5-game losing streak, and my butthole is very unclenched seeing this happen. Hashtag trade Swayman. The Celtics take on the Sacramento Kings Friday night at TD Garden, and the Red Sox have signed nobody. This has been Headlines with the Obvious One. Back to you there, Richard.
Peter Fox. Peter Fox is the type of guy I'd like to get a cocktail in his hand in a dimly lit bar, a cigar bar with a leather chair, and let me relax, give me half a gummy, and just kind of let him go. And his stories are going to take a little bit longer to get out.
You need some time to listen.
Yeah, but I'd like to hear him. I think he was definitely reserved in this.
I would like to hear more about the boobs that he said that he promised that.
Yeah.
I got the bruise.
He had a lot of
I didn't get the booze
that were kind of wanted to go that way.
Yeah. He perked up with the Miller Lite boobs thing. He was like, oh yeah.
And then when you see someone, you talk to someone about a war
was canceled by the FCC, women's glib.
Yeah, you talk to someone that's been in the wars or something like that, and then you when I said Bourbon Street, his eyes lit up, like all those stories just came back to him. He's like, oh, fuck.
I mean, he's an ad man.
Yeah.
You
see some shit.
Women's glib should be the next segment on this show.
Got it.
And it's just us talking about women's issues.
You know what? I'm going to invite a woman onto the show.
We should have a women's health segment in which we discuss it.
They ask us questions, we give honest answers, and they tell us how wrong we are.
Yeah, exactly. I think what I think, ma'am, is you just need to get the sand out of your panties, and I think everything will be fine.
Yeah, no. We haven't got canceled in 5 years. We keep trying.
Yeah.
The FCC are pussies.
Speaking of pussies, Pat Scraps, hold the Mayo. Gerard Mayo fired 90 minutes after the final game. Take me off solo. I'm going to brush this off real quick because Bobby had the poops on Monday. Couldn't make it to the show. He was dropping nuggets left and right.
It's pebbles. Pebbles.
Yeah, he was
pellets,
pegging pebbles out of his butthole nonstop. Couldn't get to the show. So we have not heard his initial reaction to the Gerard Mayo firing 90 minutes after the game and feel free losing the overall number one pick. Take your 45, 60-second recall, please.
Yeah, I was initially floored that it even happened that soon. My first initial reaction was, if you're going to do it that soon, you'd already make the decision. Why wouldn't you do it prior to the game and kind of ensure that your outcome, which you wanted to happen, would happen, as opposed to him going out there being a dickbag and winning the game. It was very frustrating that they did that. I mean, you could be happy to watch that this player was out there playing really well in Milton. You could hope that that's something you could build towards the future, but for them to screw up that opportunity, you can only be hoped will be rewarded by the football gods for not outright tanking.
It's not. We talked about this on Monday. That was the best coaching job Sean McDermott has had maybe his whole entire career.
The second they went up 1 point, then they put in Mike fucking White. He's a fucking cunt. He did that on purpose. Okay, if they would have continued to win that fucking game. He did it on purpose. Red ass is a fucking dick.
No, you have.
Oh, he's a genius. You have to tip it. You go like this to him when you see him.
This is why you are unhinged. Your whole Kraft thing, you're on unhinged. The pooping.
Kraft's an asshole. No, you're unhinged. And
we
you're
know
being a
you him for a
cunt.
second.
If
we
could
know
go
Bobby
back and find a million things where you have been crying.
Go ahead.
Thank you. We know Bobby is very particular about his nugget pooping in the morning, and obviously
threw up his whole schedule.
This week. He is completely unhinged. We've never seen him like this before, ladies and gentlemen. And his whole take. We'll get there, Bobby.
Yeah,
just
settle down, Bobby. Settle down.
He doesn't know.
I'm fine. I'm calm.
Thank you. Just back to the game. You could see it in the second half. Look, the Patriots put out their fifth stringers. Okay, Joe Milton was a third stringer that could not hit the broadside of the barn in the preseason. He had a great game. Good for him. But the Patriots rostered the team that was supposed to lose.
They did.
AVP got a fucking Milton in his shorts when he saw what he was going out there, and they got a little rambunctious. Got real excited on the fucking sideline. They were acting like it was great. Mayo was smiling. And then by the third quarter, you saw it. You saw the way they called the game change. They went, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. We're going to fuck this up. Oh, fuck. You saw it happen. Watched it live. You could see it happen live. The play calling. And McDermott's over there like, Mike White, you're in. And it was over. It was over. And my point on Monday was hopefully that was the last gaffe of incompetence from the Mayo regime and Kraft regime. And 90 minutes after the game, we are moving on. We've decimated 4 to 7 additional picks, but with that one move, but whatever. We're wiping clean. Kraft said, I fucked up. My bad. Put him in a bad spot. Shut up, Mom. And
thank you, Kathy.
You're not allowed to watch this show, Mother. Just kidding. Thank you for the support. Go to simonisports.com, buy a t-shirt. Anyway, so there you go. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, when I knew the game was over when Joe Milton fucking scored that touchdown, did that stupid fucking backflip, I immediately said, fuck, because I knew I knew it was over. I'm like, fuck. They're all amped up. They wanted to go and play, and fucking he's doing backflips. I'm like, this game, they're going to fucking win it and lose everything.
I am very much in my head now. Please, can we have a truce on the mother jokes tonight?
Nope.
Damn it.
That's what you get for being a cunt all day divine. He's going to fucking...
He's got him all in trouble.
You were
right. You were being a cunt, okay? Number one,
you admitted to it, too. You admitted to it, too.
Exactly.
Hey, you are my safe space. Thank you. I was. You also fucking deserved it.
As soon as I saw his paragraphs coming through the text exchange from Rich about like anything about Kraft, I'm like, yep, you're right, Rich. Whatever you want to say, I'm on your side today, baby.
I said Robert Kraft was an asshole for appointing Gerard Mayo, and he's like, no, he's great. These are all the reasons that he is.
That is not the truth. That is not.
Yeah, Bobby, that's not the truth at all. We have the receipts.
Full of shit.
Yeah, fine.
Speaking of assholes, here is the asshole of the night. It is Gerard Mayo. I have paragraphs upon paragraphs of these stories that have come out from the Chad Graffs of the world, from Doug Kide and Callahan and Boston Sports Journal, the aftermath of the Gerard Mayo firing and just how dysfunctional it was. Don't put me on solo screen, Ray. I'm going to start reading through this. Stop me when something piques your interest. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you the natural stops where I deem them fit. So here is your aftermath of the Gerard Mayo era and the dysfunction in which it was. We're going to start with Chad Graff of The Athletic. On a plane ride back to TF Green International Airport in Providence, Rhode Island, most of Mayo's assistants grabbed their laptops and studied cut-ups from the loss. This is after the bye-week Arizona loss. The customary move for NFL coaches during the return flight after games, a few executives slept so they'd be ready to work once the team buses rolled into Gillette Stadium parking lots at 4 a.m. Plane rides in the NFL are typically quiet after losses. Coaches and execs sit up front, players towards the back. But in a move that surprised some of the front of the plane after such a lopsided loss, according to a team source, Mayo, the team's first-year head coach who had been handpicked, that was a Freudian slip. Handpicked by owner Robert Kraft to succeed Bill Belichick, left his spot near the front and went to where the players had gathered to play cards, choosing to hang out while their assistants watched film. A source says, look, there are a lot of ways to do the job. It's not that Gerard was definitely wrong, but I can't say I've ever seen that before. It also goes on to say this. I should have left this out of this, but I'll say it. It's also fair to note that an antidote like that could be spun as a positive if the team were winning, as one player noted. If the Patriots were 13-4, maybe the narrative becomes, look how cool the coach is as he relates to his players.
I'll stop you there. You're not 13-4. You're 4-13. You fucking douchebag. Go out there and fucking study film, you douchebag, and figure out why your team sucks and why you have false starts.
Football.
Well, there you go. There's your reason. I mean, why is this not coming out why is this coming out now? Why wasn't this reported after that the plane ride back? Why didn't he grab why? Where was this?
I think people like him.
That is so all of this is from anonymous sources that is very common after guys get blown out. Everybody just goes and vents. So they're in season, it's not gonna happen. But reading all that, the Mayo going back and playing cards, I was just like, yeah, like
Who's he playing cards
That
with?
adds up. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. It was that final fucking line that a player noted. Look, if we're winning, if it's 13-4, we'd be like, yeah, Mayo's part of the game. No shit. Like if you were winning, it would prove that what he's doing is working. You're not. You suck. You're the worst team in the league. What are you talking about? That's like Bobby and Bill saying, well, if Kraft didn't have Belichick and Brady, you fucking suck. He did. So how do you do that? How do you make those 2 points hit? You can't. It's stupid. It's like a flat earth. It's fucking dumb.
Quick question for you, Rich. If your company was like doing very successful, would you want to go play cards with your boss?
I support my company 100%. If they're watching, I have no ill will against them. What was the question?
Would you want to play cards with your boss? Would you want to play cards with your boss?
Sure. If we're winning and everything was great.
If you're winning? Okay, so now you're thinking you're going to lose your...
play Go Fish because he's probably dumb.
Shut up, Vine. You're losing money now. You're fucking like, oh my God, I could be losing my house. I could be losing my family because like everything's going bad right now.
You, Raymond? Are you desperately trying to rack your brain for for a situation to describe how that was a bad decision Mayo made?
Yes.
We get it, man.
All right, I'm just saying.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Can I continue? Yeah,
absolutely. Go on.
Mayo, bad move. No shit.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't know. I thought Vine was going to fucking go for him, so that's why I was just throwing shade at him.
No. This is from Chad Graff. It continues on describing how and why things went wrong for Mayo and the Patriots. Team sources pointing to a few things. Mayo, they felt tried too hard to be 180 degrees different from Bill Belichick, then struggled to apply and uphold discipline after positioning himself as a player's coach. He wasn't experienced enough for the job, something Kraft acknowledged on Monday. Other reports, this is not in what I put in this email. This came from Bedard weeks ago. The Krafts knew that he was bad for the job basically the second they hired him and put him in front of a microphone. That's been reported by, I think, Greg Bedard.
The Thunder? The Thunder was a bad
Thunder thing? Yeah.
Yeah. Burning cash, Thunder. They're like, oh, shit. No, Johnny, we've said this for weeks. Johnny said, Dad, what the fuck?
No, there's a quarterback controversy here, too. May might play. Remember that? Remember that whole ordeal?
Oh no, yeah, we could go through the maybe we should next week. We will go through all of Mayo's gaffes in front of the microphone. It'll take us all show. We don't have time for that right now.
Go back to the discipline thing real quick though, because the fact that was actually noted, we saw it all season. The players will make mistakes. They felt so comfortable they would come up, account for it. Kendrick Bourne did it weekly when he would run the wrong routes, and then there was never any. It never stopped. They were error mistake repeaters all season long.
Yep. From day one, Mayo ran into issues. It started while trying to build out his coaching staff. Mayo's entire 8-year professional playing career was with one team and one coach. So Mayo's Rolodex was tiny. He interviewed more than a dozen candidates for the offensive coordinator job before Alex Van Pelt finally accepted the role. The defense, this is new. We knew the 12 candidates thing. This is the defensive side. With the defensive coordinator role, the other important spot on the staff, Mayo was surprisingly decisive. Even though Steve Belichick, Bill's son, had been the Patriots defensive play caller in recent years while they routinely boasted top 10 units, Mayo didn't offer him a chance to continue calling plays, according to a team source, opting instead for a young defensive line coach, DeMarcus Covington. Mayo did offer Steve Belichick a lesser role, classic demotion, Bobby, but the younger Belichick declined, let me add, said, fuck you, and left to become the defensive coordinator at University of Washington. You know what that is? Another classic corporate shrill bullshit slime-ass move. I've been getting credit for everything you've been doing, Steve, and the second I leave your room, they're going to see that I'm useless, so you got to go, brother. That's what that is.
Pretty much.
Anybody that says give Gerard Mayo a chance his first year, you are not paying attention. This guy doesn't know dick.
So for all the plumbers out there, is this like saying like Steve Belichick was ready to get a desk? And then Gerard Mayo said, nay, you got to go. You can't have a desk because I'm more important than you.
I don't speak plumber. I just pipe your mom. Mayo, according to team...
Kathy!
Okay. All right, truce off. The truce is off.
Gone, dude. Gone.
Mayo, according to team sources with knowledge of the situation, struggled with discipline Let me read that. Mayo, according to team sources with knowledge of the situation, struggled with discipline and how to enforce it. Before Patriots Week 17 game against the Chargers, he told broadcast crews that he was going to bench Ramondre Stevenson because of his recent fumbles. But when it was time to do so, he had a change of heart and let the running back start. Here's a quote. Quote, I still don't know what happened with that, a team source said. Honestly, Gerard is a good guy. I just don't think he was ready for all the big decisions and discipline and focus the job takes.
No shit.
Let me go to Mike Giardi here of Boston Sports Journal. While Gerard Mayo could reach the players, most, not all, he adds, on a personal level and appeal to them with lighter approach than his former boss, the locker room murmurings picked up steam as the season wore on. Questions about game plans, in-game adjustments, or lack thereof, player utilization, inconsistent messaging, and a tolerance for spring and summer mistakes being made in the fall left several players wondering if they were in capable hands. One vet told me, quote, I lost faith we were heading in the right direction. Girardi asks, when? In the spring. Why? Felt like they were making it up as they went along. It was amazing how one day it would be this, then the next day something completely different. Another player added, quote, it became more about looking myself in the mirror and the guys in my room and huddle and saying, I'm leaving it out here for you because I never believed we had an edge in coaching. That's
so do you think
players? Devin Gottschall, by the way, not named here, but that's fucking Devin Gottschall.
Yeah.
Do you think it's amazing that they won 4 games after hearing all that?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean,
yeah,
right. Especially the first game of the season, going out there being Cincinnati. I know that.
No, first game of the season's fine. First game of the season, everyone like hope is still in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's when the most upsets happen is week 1.
The other quote that's not in this, I didn't add it here, but that I read was someone was asked like, when did it fall off the rails? They said after week 2.
Yep, I remember I read that. Yep.
Here's from Giardi as well, passing the buck. Front office had a number of issues with coaches. So this is coming from the front office, Elliot Wolf. First and foremost, they believed that the younger players in the roster hadn't grown and developed nearly enough. There was also the surprising regression of players identified as core pieces and signed to contracts this past offseason that expressed that belief. So they're talking about the rookies, Jalen Polk, that didn't do well, and the Mike Owenu's, Kyle Duggars of the world that they re-signed who sucked. Meanwhile, there was a feeling amongst some of the coaches that I talked to that the front office didn't get them the right players. So the front office is saying, we brought core guys back that we thought were going to be good. They regressed. We signed these kids that showed potential, and they never developed. So front office is saying the coaching sucks. Sure. Coaches are saying, there was a feeling amongst some of the coaches that I talked to that the front office didn't get them the right players. What's the line? This is from a coach. What's the line? Chicken salad out of chicken shit? Yeah, that was us. Another was incredulous as he surveyed the roster. Quote, offensive line, wide receiver, defensive line, bottom of the league here, bottom of the league there, bottom of the league everywhere. Can't rush the passer. Can't stop the run. Getting blown out of gaps. Do you think they were coached to do that? We were asking players to do the most basic things, but in most cases, it was asking them to play beyond their capabilities. It's hard to be consistently competitive. That was from coach.
I'm going to stop you there. Is that the coaches or is that more the GM not addressing the needs that the team need?
It's everybody. It's everybody.
So then why is Wolf still here?
We know why he's here. We talked about it on Monday. He's going to get blown out the second they hire a head coach.
I'm just saying because Bobby's not here. Bobby wasn't here.
Demotion and responsibility.
Say that again, Bobby.
Or he could stay on, but he isn't in charge of picking players. He could just basically be a glorified scout.
He is going to get blown out the second they hire a head coach. Kraft said it in his press conference. He said the head coach will have the decision on who their GM is. That's how they're going to go. That's how they're going to go about this. You know why that's how they're going to go about this? We'll get there in a second. In their next Patriots segment, because they're hiring Mike Vrabel. They know he's got a guy. That's who it's going to be. But there's still scouting that has to happen. There's still paperwork that has to happen. There's bullshit interviews with black candidates that have to happen. Robert Kraft's not doing that. Elliot Wolf had to fucking do that. You don't blow out your entire football operation 90 minutes after the season without somebody in the building to keep the goddamn ball moving. It's 365 days a year. Elliot Wolf is all but dead in New England. Trust me.
I'm holding you to that. I'm holding you to that, Rich.
You can. If you fucking deny me, right, I will paragraph you to death in our text chain. You know why? Because I'm fucking right.
And I know. And you know what I would say? I'm sorry, baby. You're right.
I'm an asshole. I'm sorry.
Bobby called you a cunt. Not an asshole.
I was being cunty, but that was on purpose. It's a different. If you're like,
I saw it, but I accepted it, and I just started watching it, and I was glad I wasn't getting the force
within myself, and I said, "This is my safe space. I'm going to do it." Thank you.
And I liked it.
We all need that sometimes. We all need
because it wasn't towards me, so I loved it.
Yeah, you've got plenty.
Although I didn't like how you said, "Hey, Vine, did you take some Ray cereal this morning or whatever the fuck you said?" I didn't like that. I did not like that.
Well, that's how I asked if he took a cunt pill.
The answers are yes and yes.
Yes and yes. Yeah. Generally, I get everything. Here's my favorite report so far. It's the Andrew Callahan, Doug Kyde report from the Boston
today.
Herald. Yeah. And it's fantastic. And again, we're long here, but it's worth it. Let me just read. Stop me if you hear anything. Again, Andrew Callahan, Doug Kyde from Boston Herald. Several sources across all levels of the Patriots football operations spoke to the Herald on the condition of anonymity.
What movie was that from?
Your Mother's Ass.
Yeah, I was going to go with Your Mother's Ass 2021, but I didn't have it. To unpack a lost 2024 campaign, some described a cocksure, again, never mind. Cocksure rookie coach who is cocksure. We should start using cocksure. Is that a term?
I know someone that's cocksure.
Your mother.
Come on, Ray. The fucking quiet part out loud all the time. All right, here's what they had to say. Quote. This is how the article starts. It's fantastic. Cocksure rookie head coach who couldn't get his arms around the job and majored in mixed messages. Quote, he kept talking about these North Stars, a team source said. Quote, and all of us in the building were like, what are they? Can you share them with us? What's the goal? What's the vision here? Most sources felt the Patriots problem also. Let's just stop there. We called this guy a corporate ding-dong from the second he got in front of a fucking microphone. We might have been the first ones to notice it.
Bobby was.
Let me just read this again. He kept talking about these North Stars, a team source said. All of us in the building were like, what are they? Can he share them with us? What's the goal? What's the vision here? Do you know what they're actually saying in the building? What the fuck is this asshole talking about? He's full of shit. He doesn't know what he's doing. Can you teach us football and stop spouting off dumb ass corporate shrill lines? You jackass. That's what they're saying.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yep. Most sources felt the Patriots' problem also multiplied by mid-December due to a lack of accountability and preventable issues stemming from poor culture and coaching. Another quote, discipline is mandatory when you have a young team, so we don't try to cut corners or slip through the cracks and stuff like that, a veteran player said. I feel like that's really what happened with Mayo. That was from a player. The players in their position groups became sources of frustration for teammates and front office members alike. Multiple players complained about the offensive line to the Herald during the season, when injuries and poor performance forced the Patriots to field 10 different starting lineups. Even Mayo vented about the line's constant shuffling in early November, saying, quote, if I'm getting very honest, like it's been frustrating throughout the year as far as the different combinations we've had to work with. Peters, the offensive line coach, responded in his next media availability, addressing Mayo comments by saying, well, I don't spend time getting frustrated. We spend time looking for solutions. That was in like week 4. I remember Mayo saying that, going like, you're the head coach, you dickhead. Like, why don't you set the fucking lineup?
Because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
He didn't have any control over offense. He had 0.0 control over the offense.
Yep. Did he have any control over anything in the team? Like, literally, what was he actually in control of?
Your mother's ass.
Oh, there it is. All right. There's our quota. Can we stop doing that again? We will get to the defense in a second. There's some insightful stuff within the defense. But offensively, we mentioned this a couple weeks ago with the Drake May design runs. Here's how Gerard Mayo had influence over the offense. The media screamed and fans yelled. Gerard Mayo had his weekly meeting with Johnny Kraft and Robin Glazer and said, And they said, why? These guys bring up a good point. You guys failed on the goal line conversion. Drake May's big. Why don't you just run him? And Mayo said, hey, don't look at me. I'd run him. And then Johnny Kraft said, why don't you go tell Alex we'd like to run him this week? The very next week, they had 4 design runs for Drake May. That's how Gerard Mayo had control over the.
And the commentators made it a point to say that how we had all these design runs that week.
Yep.
Also, I heard the whole thing about Tavai was a big reason why he was.
That really pissed off the Crafts. They did not like that.
We'll get to Tavai here in a second.
He might not be back next year because of it.
I hope so.
He won't be.
That'd be awesome.
Tavai's gone. He did the Crafts dirty, and you're about to hear it in a second. Before we get to that, here's Bobby's favorite position group, wide receivers. No commentary spoke louder than what Elliot Wolf, told Fox Sports last week about the draft picks Jalen Polk and Javon Baker. He said, quote, I would say that I guess personally what I was expecting is maybe a little bit more internal development. Another slight there at the coaching staff. I added that. He says, quote, which is a good lesson, certainly heading into next year. If anyone else is reading that like me, we're getting rid of these fucking coaches. That's what that line says.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good lesson, certainly next year. And that you always rely on that. You can't always rely on that. Sorry. Wolf said the rookie wide receivers didn't have it really that much for us. I butchered that reading. I felt like Ray on that. Took a Ray pill this morning. Sorry. But basically what he's saying, he's passing the buck to the coaching. They didn't develop wide receivers. He can't rely on the coaches if they're going to stay. That's what he said. I can't rely on these fucking guys. So I got to get a if I'm going to draft the guys again with this staff, I got to get a guy that's ready to go and not rely on my coaching staff. Passing the buck. He did this. That's how he kept his job. He told Robert, hey, we didn't tell Bill Belichick to draft N'Keal Harry. We told him to draft these guys. Like, not our problem. Not our fault. That was Bill's fault. Fire Bill. We can do this without him. And now you're 4-13 again. Worst team in the league.
Pick it 4.
Wide receivers often spoke loudest, from post-game criticisms of play calling to complaints about targets. Veteran KJ Osborne, who sources said believed as far back as October he was going to get traded, hinted to the media he was on his way out a month before he was finally waived. Sources also confirmed Javon Baker, missed bed check the night before the Patriots' mid-October game in London, something Mayo later denied. Come kickoff, Baker was inactive. We all remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, that was supposed to be his debut.
Yes. Quote, there was also Pop Douglas was sick. He had a stomach bug, puking.
Yep. And that's when some of the captains of the team said, maybe we should stop going out partying and actually stay inside and start studying the playbook instead of, being.
Then it's correct. This one got me. This is Javon Baker is Gen Z, right? He's past the millennial. He's got to be Gen Z. This is Gen Z. The issue was Baker didn't understand why, a team source said. Quote, he was intending to be back on time, but he wasn't. For him, he wasn't in the wrong because he was trying to be back on time.
A for effort.
That literally speaks to literally everything that's wrong.
That's a Gen Z. Like when you define Gen Z, I tried. I tried to do it.
He was intending to be back on time, but he wasn't. For him, he wasn't in the wrong because he was trying to be back on time.
Maybe he should not be on this team next year.
Holy shit. Here's the defense, Bobby. In a private, who mentioned defense? I don't care. In a private, some onlooking staff members were concerned the defense had become too collaborative under rookie coordinator DeMarcus Covington, who implemented new concepts from the defensive line coach Jerry Montgomery and outside linebackers coach Drew Wilkins. Let's reminder, just told you, but I have been reading a lot and I don't read too good. Gerard Mayo blew out Steve Belichick, who has been calling the Patriots defense for the last several years, because his name was Belichick and he was going to undermine Gerard Mayo for all of the shit that he doesn't know. So DeMarcus Covington, a defensive line coach with very little experience, gets a guy named Jerry Montgomery and a guy named Drew Wilkins, new to the organization, and goes, hey, what do you guys think we should do?
Pretty much.
Even with Holder assistants Brian Belichick, who is texting his brother and his dad every fucking day of this season, and Mike Peller's, I don't know that's true, but I definitely know that's true.
Oh, get me out of here, Dad. Please,
Holy
please.
Shit, you're never going to believe what's happening in this place right now. That's what he was doing.
When something big happens at work, you just have to come home quickly and tell your wife. That's exactly what Brian Belichick did with his dad.
This just popped in. You know why Brian Belichick stayed in New England here?
Just to tell his dad.
Just to specifically tell his dad. How
Daddy gave him $10 million.
Brian, stay there. It's gonna suck.
Brian,
I want to know everything.
You're not going anything. Here's an extra fucking $10 million. Just stay there and tell me everything. Fucking going on.
He sent nudies of his fucking 24-year-old girlfriend to him and said, "Hey, I'll send you a couple more. Stay there. Tell me everything."
I don't think Brian's that kind of guy, but you can believe what you want. But I do believe he was a plant. He was definitely a Belichick plant. Another gaffe by the Crafts. Assholes. Those guys were assholes. I don't know if anyone said that before, but they are. Mike Pellegrino, plus franchise. Great. Dante Hautar working as his first year as inside linebacker coach. This was no longer a Belichick defense. One team source felt that Mayo had Mayo. Oh, this is
the way you just paused. It looked like me, trying to read Dr. Seuss.
Well, this is worded weirdly. One team source felt had Mayo become more involved, he may not have been collaborative whatsoever. So that
sounded great. I don't know what your problem was.
Before then, it said Mayo basically did not get involved, as we know. But it said had he got involved, they're not sure he even would have been collaborative. And here's why. Here's the quote. To all of the people saying he needed an experienced staff around him to help find the right answers and find solutions, I don't know if that would have helped, a source said. I don't know if he actually would have listened to what they were going to say. The source continued describing past interactions Mayo had with staff members saying, quote, he would ask anyone, what do you think the answer is here? What do you think the problem is? How do you think we can solve it? Then he would listen to the person give their answer. And then he would say something to the effect of, well, let me tell you why that's wrong.
So cunty.
Where have we heard this before?
What an asshole.
Bobby? No?
Yeah, I know.
Here's another quote. Oh, you're talking about me?
Bobby's trying to say that you're Gerard Mayo. I didn't say it.
No, God.
Bobby did. Bobby did it.
Rich is not nearly as incompetent as Gerard Mayo. He is actually good at baseline job responsibilities.
I think I could have done the job Gerard Mayo did as a head coach in New England this year with the same level of cuntiness.
Do you think you would have won more games?
Maybe, yeah. I'm definitely it's seemingly a bigger asshole.
That the three of us as the head coach could have won more games.
I think that might be true. It's not a very high bar.
Is there a coach's suggestion like there is in Madden?
I think it would have been a situation where the team would have rallied so much against how much they fucking hated our guts that they would have gone on to win as many games as possible.
Welcome to 23 years of Bill Belichick and 6 Super Bowls. What do you think his motivation was?
Exactly.
That's how that's how the military operates. That's how Bill Belichick operates. They don't have to respect me. They have to fear me and hate me, but they have to trust that what I'm telling them is going to keep them alive. In football, we said this the second they hired Mayo.
We did. We deserve more credit for that, quite frankly.
Your bullshit corporate nonsense, weight room, make them men before football players is great until you start losing. And then these 21-year-olds are going to go, Coach, can you tell me how I can get better on the field, please? And he's going to go, let's go play some cards, bud.
Yeah.
Let me make you a man.
Hey, bud, let's go play some cards.
Fuck, we called that immediately.
Toot.
All right, let's go to culture. Seeing as that perfect segue there, it felt like Mayo's personality for the first 6 months was just not being Bill. Though through OTAs, training camp, some players started to test where the line was going to be, like children. You can't treat them like men, Gerard. They're 21-year-old millionaires. You have to treat them like children. You fool. They're testing lines literally like toddlers. They just kept moving because this is the not me. This is the article. They just kept moving over where they thought the line was, but he never came in and said, "Okay, that's enough. That's where the line is." A team source said he never put his foot down. It just kept it just kept getting further away from a happy medium that should have existed between how tight Bill kept things and how they were ending up.
That's quote, just pathetic. Like, how does someone that's even in professional football, that like a results-driven business, be that loose? Like, I don't even know how that happens. He's clearly never been in charge of anything. Like, it's just not that hard to hold a firm line. It just isn't.
No, especially against like bratty little 21-year-olds? Like,
it just doesn't affect you. It's your fucking problem. Fuck you. Like, what is it? Like, I don't.
You know what? I'm doubling down on the fact that we could have. We would have relished in the opportunity to tell these 21-year-olds to fuck.
It would have been great.
Hey, dickhead, you can't go out drinking tonight. There's a game tomorrow.
Very simple.
With a beer in our hand. With a beer in our hand.
With a
Yeah,
beer in our
exactly.
hand. Yeah.
Hey, pussy. Don't fucking go to bed, motherfucker.
No.
I'm not playing prick. Also, I don't do anything. I just fucking stand here and look.
You see this body? You think I'm
with
gonna
a
fucking do anything? It's the mind, motherfucker. It's the mind. Go to bed.
I get paid to think. You get paid to play, bitch.
This is a great line. After we won, this is after the week 1 win against Cincinnati. This is fantastic. They win against Cincinnati. Here's the quote. This is from a staff member. After we won, Mayo was the happiest guy, bouncing off the walls during the week. Happiest guy in the world, one staff member remembered. And after we lost, it was like someone shot his dog. The source continues. Meanwhile, most of us are in there watching the tape of the Bengals game, and it's like, oh shit, we are so lucky to win this game. I don't know if he's watched the tape before taking his victory lap, but we really lucked out there, and obviously the rest of the season bore that out. What?
That was a great part.
Oh, it's so that is such a good quote from just probably some,
So what, do you think he was going to go 17-0 this year?
He was just a dog chasing a car.
And then got hit by that car.
And got hit by the car. Anybody listening to this or not that says Mayo didn't get a fair shake is true, but it wouldn't have mattered. This guy is not a football coach. But again, in this text chain, he will land on a staff. Within the next 2 years, he will find himself a special assistant job in the NFL, and then he will land as a defensive coach somewhere. I guarantee you. Number one, because that's how the NFL works, and number two, because clearly he's a fantastic snake oil salesman when it comes to getting to a position that he doesn't belong.
Do you know who doesn't have a defensive coordinator yet down in Chapel Hill?
There you go. Oh no! God. Are you fucking kidding me?
He
Bill
hates
Strud.
No, but I'm just saying, wouldn't that be fucking perfect though?
In what way? Produce that logic from your stupid brain.
Cheers.
What a classic "Hey, why not" from Ray when he's got nowhere else to go.
Hey, why not?
He's not Gerard. Bill Belichick hates Gerard Mayo.
I know.
Why would he give him a job?
And Stephen
just to personally berate him.
That might be true.
But did you hear the whole thing about Schefter saying that a lot of Patriots coaches are going to be plucked from going down to Chapel Hill for Bill Belichick?
They're going to be plucked. They're going to be free agents because they're going to be out of a job.
No one's working. The only guy worth his salt would be McDaniels, and he's not going. So
no,
go for it, Bill. Take whatever you want. I'm rooting for Bill in North Carolina. Everyone hates him. I'm not. Go for it.
I'd love to see him. I think we should all start.
I hope he dickbags North Carolina and goes to the Raiders. But
I think we should also start making a plan for September, going down there to Chapel Hill.
That would also be fantastic. We're getting very long, and there are some juicy stuff. Just some juicy stuff left here. You know what? Let's do this real quick, okay? Let's break this up. Let's just do a quick break and come back with the final quotes here, which are the juiciest. We've got a Tavai quote. We've got the ownership stuff. We've got the front office stuff. So just a quick break, and we'll come back to finish up.
You said the juiciest stuff, right?
Don't do it. Don't do
your
it.
Mother's
Restless minds on display. I'm a man.
There you go. Quote goes on. I don't feel like practices were all that different, but when Bill spotted something we were doing well, he would address it with the whole team, and we would address it on the field, one veteran player remembered. That didn't happen as much with Mayo. They go on to say, you get selfish guys that are being leaders or at least influencers in the locker room, one staffer said, and it's shitty. So to their credit, I mean, there are 5 captains on the team, all went down with fairly significant injuries. And then you've got, shitty guys taking over. An injured Juwan Bentley called out players and coaches for their professionalism and work ethic during one midseason meeting. The Patriots won their next game, edging the Jets 25-22, but the week after they fell to 2-7, 3-10, 3-13. Quote, at a certain point, it's like, I don't care what you're saying, coach, one player admitted. It's just hard to get to us if we're not seeing results, which is exactly what we just said, which is exactly what we said the second we heard this guy talk in front of a microphone. All right, here's the Giovanni Tavai stuff. Tavai defended his head coach by telling fans to know their place in a morning radio interview. That afternoon, Tavai stood by his tone-deaf comments while speaking with reporters, but apologized to anyone he may have offended. 2 days later, in the Patriots season finale, Tavai sat for the entire first quarter against Buffalo. Mayo declined to explain why in the postgame. A rumor spread inside the building that ownership had ordered Tavai to be benched for his comments that incited an already angry fan base. Quote, that's between me and the higher-ups and coaches, Tavai said after the game. That's in-house. Not the coaches. Tavai said that's between me and the higher-ups. That confirms everything you need to know. Crafty said, get that guy.
Bench that motherfucker
off my field. Perhaps another line had been crossed. Quote, I think there's probably some players that need to. Okay, so any thoughts on that, Tavai? Obviously, Kraft said, bench this kid.
And he said no.
Who?
That's what it sounds like for what I was listening to today. It was that Mayo said pretty much, no, I'm not going to bench him. And that's when Kraft put his foot down and said, no, you're benching this fucking guy or else. And obviously, you got benched. And then 90 minutes later, you got fired.
So Tavai sounds about as bad as Javon Baker. You can't boo us. No, we're trying real hard. Like, what's his sentiment for that? He's like, come on.
You had that from we talked about on Monday. I forgot you had the poops. Dietrich Wise, Devon Gaucho, Tavai was the worst offender. Pellets. Tavai was the worst offender about bitching about the fans booing. Complete tone deaf. You don't understand the situation. You don't understand your position. You don't understand your job. You don't understand your career. If not for the fans and the media, you don't have a fucking job, dude. So that is a DEF CON. Oh shit. Super fan Patrick with an ether raised gay comment.
Look at those glasses he's wearing, though. You have no right to call me gay with those glasses, sir.
Yeah, not that there's anything wrong with that. Just
Ray started the fires in LA then.
Yeah, Ray's responsible for the fires. All right, let's try and finish this up, shall we? I think here we go. Quote, I think there's probably some players that need to look themselves in the mirror and take accountability for what they did during the season, says a source. We all saw the issues right away, and we're hoping Gerard would grow into the role and button things up a little bit and just get better, as Stafford said. When did they lose hope? Asked Callahan or Kide, I'm not sure. Probably by November, maybe December, he said. It just wasn't going to happen. And then there was this. Quote, I think we have certainly one of the worst rosters in the NFL, a team source said, if not the worst. It is and was currently probably still is the epitome of dysfunction in a professional organization was the 2024 New England Patriots. And you can dial it back to 2023, who at the time we all blamed Belichick for letting it crumble to a halt. However, I think as time goes on, we're going to learn that this was less of a Belichick thing and more of call it a Kraft thing. They gave Mayo the anointment behind Belichick's back last year and tanked the fucking season. So this has been a 2-year debacle, and we've come to the end of it. And this year was obviously,
well, no, because Belichick got fired pretty much in Germany. So pretty much after that, he was like, whatever happens. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm out.
Right. But when did he when did he gain information that Mayo had already been signed the anointment contract? And was
I bet you he's known that.
Walking around with his baseball bat. We have reports that people thought he had a level of arrogance about him, was showing up late to meetings, taking personal meetings with the Crafts. Like that all happened in-house mid-season with Bill Belichick.
Yep.
You know, and then after the Colts game in Germany, it was an embarrassment. Yeah. So that dysfunction certainly to that point, and you could even go further if you'd like. But either way, I mean, if you haven't read those articles by those guys, do so. I'm sure we'll get a couple more, maybe even juicier stuff in the next couple of weeks.
I can't wait for the players to start talking. Maybe. The players are going to start talking even more.
We need to hear some player stories about.
They won't if they sign a guy, which I want to get to. We have that to get to. Let's do this now. Well, we won't take a break. If they sign Vrabel, which is what's reported potentially before the weekend, this is going to release tomorrow. It's live now. If they sign Vrabel in the next couple of days, all these stories are done. You will hear nothing more. That'll be over. Or Ben Johnson or anyone else. As soon as they sign the next coach, you're getting nothing, baby. So here's I think that Callahan story is probably the epitome of the stuff that we're going to hear. You might get some dribs and drabs after that. But here's what's next. Patriots, they knocked out their Rooney Rule interviews with Byron Leftwich and Pep Hamilton.
This story is amazing. I don't know why it isn't getting, why people are more mad about it. These are completely phony candidates. Neither of them, they are worse than Gerard Mayo. They would be historically, it's hilarious. One was out of coaching for 2 years. The last guy coached in the XFL. It's hilarious.
The other hilarious part is, too, the other African-American candidate that had Aaron Glenn refused to come here for an interview. So what does that
that's
say
because that was in response to the backlash for their fraud Rooney. They set up Byron Leftwich and Pep Hamilton. Then they called the Lions and said, we want to speak to Ben Johnson. They lined up Vrabel, and then the world went, yo, this is not the Rooney Rule. This is bullshit. So they went, hey, Lions, can we also get Aaron Glenn in here? And he was like, fuck you, man. Like, I'm not coming there.
I'm not coming there. I know what this is about.
The Crafts are assholes. I don't know if anyone said that before. Vrabel had an interview today, Thursday. Ben Johnson is lined up. Superfan Pat, keep that up there. Superfan Patrick.
He's spicy today.
Come down, Bobby. Smoke some peyote.
Was he a part of our text exchange too? Because he's very good today right now.
He dialed in. I think he has a mole. I think there's a mole here. I think he has a plant.
No, you don't want that guy. He's worse than me with the run-on paragraphs and just like
he can't read. He lives in Claremont.
It's a
There's no fucking way. He can't read.
We're super assholes about it. We're also off the rails here.
Duh.
I blame this on Pete Fox. What do you want to say? Here's the odds-on favorite. Vrabel. Vegas has the odds-on favorite for Mike Vrabel as Vegas, the Las Vegas Raiders. That's who they think he's going to. But obviously the Patriots, he's been they believe that that's his guy. Ben Johnson is the Knicks' hottest commodity. Brian Flores was asked about New England. He said he would welcome the chance to return to New England. The Patriots have not reached out yet, idiots. When I talk about my football journey, this is Brian Flores talking. That's where it started. I would say yes, Flores said on Tuesday. But at this time, that's not up to me whether or not they would want to talk to me or anything like that. That's kind of my thought on that. Brian Flores sued the league, I believe, or the Miami Dolphins. I don't know if that has been concluded or not, but the Patriots generally stay away from that shit. Also, they want to sign Mike Vrabel, and they just pulled the bullshit race stuff with Aaron Glenn. They don't want Brian Flores. They're dumb not to interview him. They could be fucking this whole thing up, Bobby. I grant you that. I just give you the 20, 30 years of their experience does not make them bad owners, but they are at a crossroads. If they screw this up, I will call them bad owners, and I will bash them for it. But I believe they will get Mike Vrabel. I think he's their guy. I think he wants to come here. I think he will come in and raise the floor from dysfunctional to a playoff contending team. And if he has the talent of a roster, maybe a Super Bowl in some time. I think he is that level of coach across the NFL. I don't know. Give me some examples of guys who might be better than him if you want. Your take on where we go next in the reports of the coaching hires.
Listen, I'm excited by the two major candidates as far as Ben Johnson and Vrabel. Vrabel's really more your classic program builder. He's not, he has a defensive background, but he's going to be more of the CEO type. He isn't going to be someone that's running the defense or running the offense. He's going to run the whole program. Ben Johnson, he's obviously going to run that offense. He's going to be like your Shanahan or your McVay, where he's going to be the offensive guy. Then there's going to be a total defensive guy. There's pros and cons to each. I kind of lead towards more what the Patriots need is a stabilizing effect of someone that knows how to run a program. So that means I think that Vrabel's the right decision. I think that, I don't know if you guys have seen the 2025 layup schedule that the Patriots have. If they're fucking competent, it is a minimum. They can win 8 games falling asleep if they're competent. So I think if you bring in Mike Vrabel, they have a last place schedule. You bring in a decent amount of players. You do exactly what you need. I think next year they're a viable in the hunt playoff team. I think the most important thing to me in these interviews is what does Mike Vrabel say? What's his staff going to look like? He needs to tell you who his offensive and defensive coordinators are going to be. He's been around the league long enough. Who's his Rolodex? Who's he going to bring in? You can't go through and have some charade of hiring 10 people. And the same thing with Ben Johnson. You need to know who the staff's going to be for the support system because you've seen how it failed recently.
I can tell you a little bit about Mike Vrabel's future. So we've got report DC as potential Robert Saleh, who most people know him as the Jets.
Woof. No,
well, back this up.
He did very good in San Francisco.
No, pass. Robert Saleh, no.
Josh McDaniels, his OC, is also rumored, but these are just rumors, and I've heard conflicting reports and reasons why or why not to. We don't really know who Mike Vrabel would be in. What we do know out of his mouth is this, quote, Vrabel's expectations of his next job. Quote, there's got to be clear communication with ownership so that we understand as coaches what the expectations are, Vrabel said. That's so we can explain to them what's reasonable, what we can do, what we probably can do, and what we're going to try to do or die trying. I want to have a structure in place that people see the game the way I do from an X's and O's standpoint, from a personnel standpoint, from a team building standpoint. We would hopefully have that alignment, which is critical. And I would like to be able to say that there's a quarterback that you feel like you can win with, or that there's a path to find one that you can win with. I think Vrabel's the guy. I've said this a couple times on the show.
Thank you, Patrick.
Superfan Patrick says Saleh reeks of failure. I'm with Ray. I don't think that's true in 49ers. He had a good run with the 49ers, and that's why he got a head coaching job, but that's neither here nor there. I've heard that his system does not align with Belichick's, and if they're going to try and run the same system, it's not going to work, blah, 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 whatever. I don't care. It's more important about Vrabel being the guy, understanding a vision. This is why the Patriots worked, okay? This is why Belichick and Brady and Kraft worked, because they aligned. And you don't have. It doesn't necessarily matter about what system you're running or being the next greatest thing. If you have cohesion in the NFL for more than 3 or 4 years, you have a really good fucking potential to be good. And that's because all of your stars are aligning. It starts with the players. Don't get me wrong. It starts with Brady, certainly. But Brady, without Belichick in his first few years and that team around him, would not have been Brady. You have to admit that. Belichick aligned perfectly with Kraft. We know Kraft's pretty cheap. We get that. Belichick also, not necessarily cheap, but understands the importance of a financial hierarchy, which is what he established. And then Kraft said they could do business at fucking X percentage less than what the rest of the league's doing. Fantastic. And then you had the greatest player of all time with you, which certainly brought you to the heights of what you did. But what a lot of people don't talk about is the cohesion between it all. And that is the most difficult thing to find. So if Mike Vrabel understands that and has a plan and a goal for that, then that's the guy you need, which is why I'm weary of Ben Johnson, who has never done it before and will be not making it up, but trying it out for the first time. Mike Vrabel's gone through the Titans. He's seen what doesn't work and what does work. That quarterback comment is 100% specifically about his time at the Titans. And you have Drake May, and you can think what you want about him, but his potential is obviously high. I think Vrabel's the guy. I think they should get him. It's 9:20 on Thursday night. If they announce it tomorrow at Friday, I would huzzah. Let's go. We're in good hands. The floor is as high.
We're excited.
I agree
We're ready
with the
for
Vrabel thing, but if his coordinators are going to be McDaniels and Saleh, that's a hard pass. No, that's a bad no.
Dumb. Fuck it, right, Rich? Fucking dumb.
I'm with you, Ray. Bobby took Ray pills this morning. All right, let's do. We're very late tonight, but I don't give a shit. I don't know. We're stick around. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna do 10 questions from a guy named Rob right after this.
I got illusions and illusions.
Nope.
All right, folks. How excited are you to actually watch good football teams play here in the playoffs instead of Patriots teams?
I'm excited for Saturday to watch fucking Texans, your Chargers, and then Pittsburgh and Baltimore. I'm excited.
Saturday is, I think, the worst day of the three.
Oh, absolutely. Sunday is going to be fucking amazing.
Yeah, Sunday's the day. The Monday night game is probably the best game.
just very Ray. I'm so excited about Saturday watching the Texans, and Bobby saying that's the worst game. Yeah, totally. Well, I mean, I'm excited about it.
I'm very drunk right now. Sorry.
The Texans are trash. The Steelers are trash. Those games will be blowouts.
Ooh, no. Nay. I think the Steelers pull out a win.
No, not even fucking close. Steelers are about to get annihilated.
Zay Flowers.
I agree with that.
We talk about with the bright lights with Lamar Jackson. You think he's going to go in there and fucking be able to pull that out? He's going to
Against
lose.
the Steelers, he will, because
the Steelers
ass every time.
Nope.
The Steelers have not been good since October. Come on.
Yeah, Russell Wilson, he's old. He does what all old quarterbacks do. They're good for the first 6 games, and then their legs fall apart.
Derrick Henry's going to run for 225 yards. Lamar Jackson's going to run for 130 with 3 touchdowns. Steelers going to get blown out. The Texans suck. They're not good. Saturday's going to suck.
Agreed.
I just want to see the Chiefs. I know they have the bye. I just want to see the Chiefs go down.
I want to see a great Chiefs Bills game.
You know what I really want to? Do we have another NFL playoff question, or is this it?
I have a few. I was gonna. Next one would be which team would be your upset for wild card weekend?
Steelers.
Yeah,
it's not an upset. They're not the favorite. I'll go Chargers.
What?
Chargers are the favorite. Chargers will be the upset of the week because Houston's favored. I take the Chargers.
Give me the Packers over the Eagles.
Ooh.
I like that one. I could see
even with Jordan Love with the funny bone problem with his elbow.
Yeah, the Eagles are a bunch of turds. They're gonna fuck it up.
No,
yeah, the Eagles are definitely gonna fuck it up. Is the question what's like most likely to happen, or what would you rather see?
Just happen? Like there's always gonna be an upset. Which one are you picking?
Yeah, I'd like to see the Ravens go down. I hate the Ravens. My point was the best thing that we could see, and I saw this on somewhere, is if I forget what the scenario is, but there's a scenario where the Chargers and the Rams both play on Championship Sunday in the same stadium.
Oh, wow.
And there's no time to make that happen. And that's never
happened. And it might burn down.
And it's never happened in the NFL. It could have happened with the Giants and the Jets, but it's never happened. And how would they handle that? So AFC Championship game's at 3, NFC Championship game is at 6 or whatever. Whatever the timing, 1 and 4, whatever it is. And it's in the same stadium. How do they do that?
They would have to move it to a Saturday and a Sunday situation.
I guess I would be interesting to see. I like a little chaos. I like a little chaos theory. Yeah. So I'm rooting for that.
There you go. Root for chaos. Should the 49ers pay Brock Purdy?
No.
Under no circumstance. No.
They
should trade him. They should trade him immediately. Franchise and trade.
They should trade him immediately, and that owner, I don't even know his name, should slap Kyle Shanahan with a wet fish and tell him, you are not the quarterback. You will never be the quarterback. You need to go sign a good quarterback. Your system's not good enough to get you over the top.
I like that. A strong talking to by the owner. Well done.
Pacific Seabass across the cheek of Kyle Shanahan. Go get yourself a fucking good quarterback, you dickhead.
Now get out of my office and bring in the hookers.
Go again.
The San Francisco hookers.
Yeah. What should the Pats do with Joe Milton?
Nothing. Let him be the second string quarterback.
Agreed.
Keep him.
You don't need to keep 3. You just go in with 2 and let Joe Milton just push Drake May so he doesn't get comfortable. That's the best quality.
Yeah, because obviously Brissett's gone because you signed a 1-year deal. So yeah, you got 2 quarterbacks. Perfect.
$9 million more you can spend towards players that matter.
Yep, keep them, and On this show, I'll speak for all of us. We're not totally sold on Drake May. He got some shit to prove.
I don't care if Joe Milton takes over as the quarterback, as long as one of them can play. I don't give a shit.
Of course not. In 2 years, when contracts start coming up, and you want to tell me you've got some interest in a 4th round pick or something for Joe Milton, okay.
Yeah,
now, I don't know. Keep him there.
We'll hold him.
The best thing Elliot Wolf has ever done.
Need to throw
Shut
him
up.
in.
That's the worst thing.
Moody. Okay, now you get him
out of here. Get him out of here. Gadget plays. Shut up, Patrick.
And I like that. That was a good one. I like that.
Don't talk football, Patrick. Was it a bad game for Darnold or just a meltdown that'll carry over into the playoffs?
Just a bad game.
I think he's gonna melt. I think he's gonna fuck the Vikings real hard.
Oh yeah, it was a meltdown.
I mean, he's playing for a lot of cash right now because obviously he's on that 1-year deal. Maybe his butthole's get a little tight right there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm seeing Ghost Sam Darnold needs to sign a deal with Depends today because that boy is about to shit his pants.
Fair enough. We just did this one. We'll skip that one. Quick knowledge check, Raymond. Plumbing question. What is a tap tee?
A tap tee is when you have a piece of pipe, you tap into it, either a welded fitting or a soldered fitting, and that's how you can go into it.
Cool story. It's a trick question. It's a t-shirt I wear when I bang your mom. Did the Chiefs tank to fuck over the Bengals?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Yes, they did.
Yeah. What was the most disappointing team this season?
Bengals.
Patriots.
Yeah.
No, it's the 49ers. Fucking Bengals. And your top 5 quarterback who can't make the fucking playoffs 4 times out of 5 years. Joe Burrow, the most yards, the most touchdowns. I'm the next Dan Marino. Make the
playoffs. SimplesMindSports.com.
Make the playoffs. Make the playoffs. It's the Bengals. You paid Jamar Chase. You're going to let T. Higgins. It's the Bengals. Or the Cowboys. You can always throw the Cowboys up there.
Cowboys are always.
But at least they got an injury. At least
a resounding disappointment.
Yeah.
At least Dak got hurt. It's the Bengals. How do you have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and that team and not make the playoffs? I go Bengals.
Coaching.
You convince me somewhere else. Is there another
Niners?
Niners. Well, they got in, but they're
injured prone. Yeah.
Their injuries were like.
Yeah, they need to hire a new training staff.
They set a record for the kind of. You could go Dolphins, Miami, but they had Tua went down. I mean, no one went down for the Bengals. No one was hurt for the Bengals.
Yes, they were. Joe Burrow was hurt this year.
The Patriots in the first game.
Oh, Joe Burrow was hurt again?
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah, the offensive line sucks.
Joe Burrow was hurt again, was he? Can't stay on the field? Nope. T. Higgins faked injuries because the fucking franchise is so shitty?
He did do that.
But he's going to take a pay cut to stay there. Weird.
No, he's not.
He is not taking a pay cut. He should.
Yes, he said he will take a lower deal to stay with the Bengals.
He didn't mean that.
Lying.
Yeah, exactly. He should. The Patriots should just give him a check and say, write in the numbers.
I would say no, thank you. If I was the GM for the Patriots,
whatever. You need to start signing players. You need to.
You just got to start the ball rolling.
You need to.
He's not a number one. He's not number one though. Anyway,
doesn't matter.
Everything they have.
You're the worst team in the league. You need to sign a bad deal.
You're not going to sign Justin Jefferson or Chase or any of those other guys.
You're not. You. What do you want to do? Who else do you want to get? Javon Baker? You need to sign several bad deals. You can go sign the top 5 free agents. This is a blog on SimplesMindSports.com at wide receiver, left tackle, middle linebacker, safety, and defensive line, defensive edge. Sign the top 5 at those positions over market value for the Patriots and still have $25 million left over in cap space. Go do it right now. And I don't give a fuck if they don't work out in their entire deals. You need to rebuild the franchise. Spend the money.
Last question. Would Bill Belichick dicking over the Tar Heels excite you?
Yes.
I agree. It would. Highly. And I think it's going to happen. He's already got his mouthpiece Lombardi out there talking about how he's 1,000% into it. So, yeah.
He's not. He's going to dick him over next year.
This year, come on, that'd be fun.
He won't.
Bill O'Brien did it last year. He signed. He went to Ohio State, and he's like, no, fuck you.
I wouldn't put it past Belichick, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think he'll do it next year.
Yeah, I think next year is going to be the year. So Steven can get the deal
because he would have gone through a season. That would be. I wouldn't consider that a dick over.
Fair enough. I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him go to the Raiders or somewhere else.
I'd love him on the Raiders. I think
I want to see him win Shula's. I want to see him beat Shula's record. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I would love to watch a Raiders-led Belichick versus the Patriots next year as they play each other.
Well, the Raiders are coming
in Foxborough. Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady on the broadcast.
My dick's already hard.
That's not possible.
That's not possible. Simplest Minds of the Week to close it out on a very late show right after this.
Oh, back to school to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
I will say, I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, I do have family members with Down syndrome. It almost got me. I dodged it, but it nicked me. Bit of a day walker myself.
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as stupid does.
All right, compliments of Raymond. This week we've got a couple funny little clips here. Let's play Ray's Porn Guy.
Coming back, Jake. Well, he thought so yesterday when he talked to the media. He hadn't been told otherwise. This was kind of building, Tony, over the past couple of weeks. You know, he had such a great start to last season, taking over midway through the year, I think ending the year 5-4.
How do you not close that? That was either a losing bet or he did that shit on purpose. Like,
I don't think so, man. People are dumber than you give them credit for. For anybody just listening, that was a video of some, I guess, sports
guy from Sacramento State. Sacramento State he was covering.
Oh, yeah. Then no, he definitely didn't know. He was just browsing on. It was an overhead shot of he was very Poindexter looking, white collared shirt with a tie, maybe a pink tie. I'm not sure. Short cropped comb over, and then the camera zooms in on his monitor, and it is a picture of a woman.
It's Rihanna. It's not a woman. It's Rihanna.
That's Rihanna?
That's Rihanna in lingerie. Yeah.
She looks a little bigger than I remember.
Well, she had kids.
Okay, good for her.
Where do you think she was bigger, in the breast department or the butt?
It's not
there was just more to love.
It's not a 1080p video there. It just I didn't notice it as Rihanna. I was not.
It's Rihanna.
He had her face. But the point here is he went on broadcast with checking out some tatas, and I mean, who didn't notice or did it on purpose or lost the bet in a funny video there.
Come on, you always got to delete that shit.
Next clip is Ray's Hooters chick.
Nope, I have a surprise for you, Richard.
Ooh. Yes, I can hear you. So the family with the poor little girl who was.
There's a fire happening right now.
Say that again?
Why is there a fire happening right now?
There are multiple fires that are taking place.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're the news though. You're supposed to know.
Well, I don't know how it started. We don't know how it started. There,
I think
winds.
It's all the gay people in LA.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
We got the
unacceptable. Gina, the.
Okay.
Okay, very unacceptable.
Okay, I'm gonna call bullshit on this. You know why?
That guy set that up perfectly. He did the fucking LeBron to Dwayne Wade to LeBron.
That guy was a plant. Why is the camera guy focusing on the car leaving the parking garage with some kid in there? That you got to have your antennas up against bullshit against the antenna. It's a funny video. I grant you that.
It was great. It was great.
But I'm antenna bullshit on that. Also, so in the spirit of not getting canceled, thoughts and prayers to the California fire folks out there. And if it is the gays, stop it. Don't do it.
I think they're Native American gays, but anyways,
not a thing. It's not a thing.
Last one is Hooters girl. Here you go, Richard.
We're gonna make out here.
Okay.
We're gonna make out here.
No, we are not. Here,
Turn off the lights.
right there.
Turn off the lights. We're gonna make out.
Wait. Stay right there.
Oh, that's my bad. That's my bad.
All right.
I gotta pee, bro.
I know. I have to pee as well.
Bro. I gotta pee.
Okay, do you want to try this first exercise for me?
I will do anything for you, Daddy. God damn.
All right.
You in that suit? I'll do fucking anything for you.
Can you put your feet together?
Put my feet together.
And your hands on your side?
Whatever you say, Daddy.
Okay. Now before
I'll put my hand on my hip.
No, I was grabbing my flashlight.
Whatever you want, Daddy.
Okay. Before we start.
Hey, fair shirt.
Are you wearing
Fair
contacts right now?
Are you wearing contacts right now?
No, I'm wearing glasses.
No, I am wearing
hold on.
contacts.
Here.
Wait, you see this? I am wearing contacts.
Sophia,
You see this?
can you put your shirt on?
I am wearing contacts.
Can you put your shirt on?
I am wearing contacts. I swear to God, I'm wearing contacts.
Hold on. I want you to think for like 2 seconds.
I am wearing contacts.
Sophia.
You might have glasses, but I am wearing contacts.
Hey, Sophia. Hey,
I swear to God, I'm wearing contacts.
Like 2 seconds.
Why are you such a nerd, bro?
In all seriousness.
Bro, don't be such a fucking nerd, bro.
Don't be such a nerd.
There's a long video of some drunk woman supposedly in a police body cam.
She got a DWI. She was getting a breathalyzer and pretty much, yeah.
I got bullshit on that one too. What cop says Sophia, please, Sophia?
He's sitting there
like,
giggling. He thinks it's hilarious.
Bullshit. God, Ray, you get duped so many goddamn times.
You think that was duped? No, I disagree.
Yes, that was fake as shit.
Nope.
Cop operate. That's not how a cop. If it is, then he fucked that girl. And,
well, two questions.
Either before or after. Either he knows her or he did it after. One way or another, that's not a police cam video.
That's a police cam video.
Fire him or congrats on the sex. But that's bullshit. I call bullshit.
I think he arrested her and had sex with her. So boom.
Well, super bad or Super Trooper style.
Yep. Boom boom.
Who wants a mustache ride?
I do.
What a long show, boys. Thank you to Peter Fox for joining us.
Thanks, Peter.
If you are watching on YouTube, thank you. Subscribe, rate, review wherever you're watching or listening. Please do the newsletter. Everything right at your doorstep. We do the behind the scenes. We pay for it. We write it. You read it. We've got free gambling advice. We've got some funny merchandise. It's free. It's just an email. Go do it. Either in the link or at simplemindsports.com. Thanks for joining us every Thursday night here live at 8 p.m. Bring your comments. Someone's got to stop Superfan Patrick from making fun of us.
Yeah, get in there and get him. Get that baddie.
Get that baddie. Get that baddie patty. Until then, we'll see you next Thursday because thank God the Patriots season is over. We don't have to do a Monday show. We'll see you next Thursday, and maybe we'll talk about how great Robert Kraft is as an owner. Bye-bye. See ya.
Bye. Higher variable. Bye-bye.